Why is it doing that? Okay, I feel like I'm kind of getting somewhere. Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicole Concilio and welcome to the video, y'all. I just got in the mail today the new Urban Decay Ultraviolet Naked Palette. And this kind of went a little bit like crazy on Twitter. A lot of people were like, ooh, is this good? Is it gonna be the same kind of inconsistent formulas? Since I knew a lot of you guys really wanted me to test this out when I got it, I figured let me sit down and film a review for it. This palette will be available, actually, I think it's available today, which is the 17th, on urbandecay.com. When you look at the palette, it's very pretty colors. Like, these are very up my alley. I love the teal in the center, the purples. You still have enough to make like a neutral eye as well. We'll see how it holds up, and you know, we'll just take it from there. We'll have to just take it in the moment and see what the tea is. I'm thinking in my head this is gonna be like same kind of cruddy quality shadows that Urban sometimes does with their naked palettes. I'm hoping that this is better than the previous naked launches, you know? And even their wired palette, like I remember that was one of my more recent like full face of trying out new makeups tutorials, and oh my god, that palette was atrocious. I mean, it literally blended into nothing. I was so unimpressed with that palette, so I'm hoping that this will at least redeem itself a little bit. I'm gonna zoom you guys on in. We're gonna do some swatches and get started. All right, so I got my eyebrows on. Let's do some swatches. Oh, wait, I gotta call Riley and ask him to bring me out some makeup wipes. He's gonna kill me. I'm gonna skip these first two swatches because I know they're not gonna show up on my skin, and they're not really meant, like, for this, I feel like these are more like brow bone swatches. So I'm gonna go in. This is Dazed, like a rose gold. Then we have the shade Hacked right below it. I hear Riley outside with the dogs. This shade I actually am interested in. Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks, honey. Hi, Buggy Girl. Hi, Mudgy Man. Okay, so this is called VR. Junie's like, what the hell? Why am I in here? So if you hear toes walking around. So that's kind of pretty. That's like a duochrome. I don't know if you guys can really tell on camera, but it's got some like purple reflex in it. Hey, June. What's up, my girl? Are you in mommy's beauty room? No way, mama. All right, so next we are going in with the shade Lucid, and this is that teal color that's in the center of the palette. And let's go in and, oop, there is definitely fallout with this guy. So this is a duochrome as well. It kind of has like green reflex and a little bit of yellow in there with blue. It's like definitely an interesting color. I definitely don't know how these would swatch on deeper skin tones. Next we have this matte shade. It's called Optimized. Again, fallout. I don't know if you guys are picking up on the fallout, but I can see it. Next we have Warning. This one I can already tell I'm not gonna like because it's very bland. Yeah, this is like a satin color. I always get confused by these colors. Urban Decay has a lot of them in their palettes where they're like kind of satiny, kind of not. Like, it's just confusing. Next, we have the shade Cyberpunk. And this is like a dark purple. This is what that one looks like. And this next shade is really pretty. It's kind of like a periwinkle. It's called Euphoric. I like this color a lot. That I think is really pretty. Next we have Purple Dust, which is kind of, I'm gonna swatch it up here, which is kind of like a black purple. It's like got some purple reflex in it as well. You can kind of see it in the center there. And then the last color we have to swatch is Digital, and this is just like a brown. I'm gonna go above my tattoo so you guys can see. But overall, the colors swatch pretty nicely. But again, that doesn't really tell you much. Like, I need to see how it is gonna perform on my eyes, right? So I think what I want to do is use two colors. I think I'm going to use Lucid and Euphoric. I'm going to stick Lucid in the first portion of my eyelid and then blend it into Euphoric, or at least that's kind of like what I want to do. So let's kind of like just put that down. And I have my P. Louise base primer. So let's go in with the shade Lucid, the turquoise, and I'm going to pop that right here. Ooh, okay. I feel like, should I move you guys in even more, zoom you in. Why not, you know? Let's get close and personal. It's been crazy, you guys. I feel like coronavirus cases are going up like crazy in California, and it just has me a little bit like eerie and worried. I just feel a bit all over the place. What about you guys? How are you guys feeling? How's everybody's mental health? I was actually thinking about, because I've been so open and candid about my eating disorder that I struggled with. I know I've been a lot more vocal and open about it, so I was thinking about on my vlog channel maybe opening up about it and talking about it. I definitely can also do it on my main channel too. The problem with having two channels is like I don't know where to put what. Like, is that something that I put on my main channel? Is that something that goes on the vlog channel? Like, that is one of the things I am struggling the most with having two channels, I'm not gonna lie, but I am enjoying doing more vlog and lifestyle type of content for you guys, so I'm glad you're here for it. So I'm just kind of packing this on, and the teal is looking pretty good on my skin tone and stuff. Like, again, I don't know how this would be on deeper skin tones. I do feel like it's kind of flaking a little bit. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do? So I was saying on my Instagram stories that I'm not a huge fan of like thick cut cold cuts. And if you don't know what cold cuts are, I'm talking about like lunch meat, like deli meat. I get so grossed out with cold cuts that are thick. I don't know why, but I'm like I can't even swallow it. Like thinking about swallowing that just, oh, it really makes me nauseous. Food really grosses me out. Like I think because I've dealt with so much food poisoning in my life. Like you guys remember last summer I had E. coli, and then I've been like severely food poisoned in the hospital for like a week with pork once before. I just am a little bit scared of foods. I'm definitely not an adventurous, ooh, that looks kind of pretty. I'm not an adventurous eater at all. I don't know. And I was so relieved that so many of you were responding to my story and just like saying that you're the same way. Sometimes I feel weird. I'm like, oh, I wish I could like just enjoy things. Like I don't like chicken. I get grossed out with turkey. Like I get so grossed out easily, very easily. And I wish I wasn't like that. I totally could transition into being a vegetarian. The only thing I would really miss is my red beef. Like I love ground beef, like red meat so much, and I know that's like the worst thing for the environment, and I'm just kind of taking this and blending. So let's work on my crease. I wanted to just get this on my actual eye first and see how it looked. It is pretty, like it does have nice duochrome shifts to it. It's definitely a lot better than that atrocious wired palette, like sorry, but. So I'm gonna be taking this Morphe M433 and going in with the shade Mind Slip and use this as a transition shade. I normally don't ever work like this. If you're new to my channel, hi, I never do my eyelids first. I always do my crease first, but today I wanted to see how this would look, and that's why we're kind of working backwards. But yeah, just getting that as a transition shade. You could barely even see it. It's more just like a base, but I want to also just keep reminding you guys to sign petitions and use your platforms for good, have uncomfortable conversations with your family, friends, relatives. Keep using your voice for Black Lives Matter and just to change everything. I mean, there's so much going on in the world. I highly recommend everybody taking at least 30 minutes to an hour a day signing petitions, at least, you know, and just educating themselves, because you can never be too educated. Riley ordered me some books to kind of read up on, and I'm excited to get into those. I'm definitely gonna blend the purple a little bit more, but I just wanted to see how it would look. Next shade we're gonna go in with, let's change our brush. Let's go in with the shade Hacked, and I'm just gonna use that to deepen the crease. Mainly gonna focus that on the outer because we got the darker there. I kind of want the beginning part of my eye to still have that turquoise vibe. Ooh, I just said something that reminded me of something that I'm working on. And it's nothing like humongous, but it's definitely a step in a direction that I'm really excited to do in my career. Keep a lookout for some announcements. I don't know when, but just, you know, keep a lookout. I don't know if you guys can really even tell these transition shades. You can kind of see it there a little bit, but they're very, like the beginning part of this palette, I feel like is very similar to my skin tone. So I don't really feel like a lot of it is gonna show up on camera, but you could definitely see it in real life. So I wanna start getting this purple in check, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Optimized, and this is just like a matte pastel, and we're gonna put that in specifically more in the back where the purple actually is. I'm not gonna bring this to the front at all. I want all of the purple to kind of be in the back. So Momo's birthday was on Sunday, you guys, and it was June 14th. And he's my little Gemini man through and through. I actually had a pet psychic tell me his birthday, so that's how I know his birthday. Yes, I know, I'm nuts. And we had such a good day. I made him his favorite peanut butter treats. The ice cream man came on my block, so I like flagged him down. I scooped up Mo, Riley grabbed Junie. We ran to take the dogs to get some like ice cream from the ice cream man, and I literally cried. I was like, I just bought my dog's son to get his first ever ice cream, and they shared a little SpongeBob ice cream. It was the cutest thing ever. It was so cute. We're gonna be using some shimmer shades here because unfortunately there aren't a lot of matte shades and we gotta get more purple up into this crease. So I am gonna be going in with the shade Cyberpunk and also Purple Dust. We're gonna mix those two together like so, and make sure you're tapping off your excess. And I'm just gonna go right in the crease over here. And this is gonna be just like an outer crease moment. And since this is a shimmer shade, it kind of like is a little bit difficult to pick up. So make sure you rub your brush back and forth to pick up the pigment nicely. I feel like it's barely showing up. All right, let's just go in with Purple Dust, which is this really dark color. And let's go in the crease. There we go. Finally, some movement. And I'm just lightly dragging it. I'm like barely touching my skin. And I'm just kind of like lightly tossing it back and forth. And I feel like that's gonna be the extent of this eye. I mean, I don't know why it's not getting darker. I guess I could go in with that dark digital shade too. Why is it doing that? Okay, I feel like I'm kind of getting somewhere. That's the problem with a lot of Urban Decay eyeshadows. I feel like they're a good when swatched, but when you go to blend them out, a lot of them blend into like nothing. I mean, I'm not ecstatic about this, like especially considering I'm literally going in with the darkest shade in the palette, like, and at this point I'm barely even tapping off any excess. Like I don't know, I just feel like it should blend a lot better than what it's doing. That's better. I mean, it kind of just still looks like there's a line in my lid, but what are you gonna do? Let's use this Euphoric shade again, and let's tap this on the eye and just kind of like drag it like so. That looks a bit better. This is what I struggle with because obviously the eye look I'm making right now, it looks pretty, right? If this wasn't sent to me, I would have bought it for a review. And like, obviously I'm making it work. Like, I know they could get better shadows than this. Like, I know they could. So I'm gonna go ahead and try the same thing to the other eye. Basically, the three shades that we're using in our transition is Cyberpunk, Purple Dust, and Digital. Sorry, not my transition, actually my crease. But that is what I'm gonna be doing, just so you guys can see on the right eye. Make sure I don't have any dry patches, because I really want you guys to be able to see this and how it works. But like, I mean, the fact that there's barely anything coming off my brush, and granted, these are some shimmer shades, but like, I should be able to get a color going here. You know what I mean? You should be able to see a darker color. I'm just gonna not waste any time, and I'm just gonna go in with the darkest shade, Digital. And I'm not even gonna tap off the excess. I wanna see what this is gonna be like. And I'm just lightly bringing it to the inner corners of my eyes, just so that it like transitions nicely. But why isn't that dark color showing up? You know what I mean? I don't get it. Where is this dark color? Where? Because it's not on my eyes, I'll tell you that. And it really sucks because I love Urban Decay. I love the people behind the brand. I think they're awesome. But it's like, how many times do I need to go over a color for it to show up? You know, I don't like doing that, especially in 2020, you know, like makeup is pigmented in one swipe. Now I feel like this eye is darker and I can't get this eye to match that freaking eye. Sometimes I just want to scream, you know? And I know there's going to be someone that says, oh, it's because you put shadow on your lid first. Like, no, that has nothing to do with it. I mean, this is a very pretty look that I'm making. Like, I like the look, but is the palette worth it, you know? And there's a lot of stinking fallout. All right, so this is what we got working with. I'm gonna wipe away the fallout. So I'm gonna apply a little bit of eyeliner, and I'm using the House Labs eyeliner, and I'm just kind of making that initial wing and then going through like so. All right, so we got our face makeup on. I actually, for face makeup and like just foundation in general, this isn't a foundation. I want to put that out there. It's a tinted face oil. This is from Kosas. I've really been loving it. I'm gonna go in with the green lucid shade and I'm going to just tap that below the lower lash like so. And the way I'm making it more pigmented is by tapping it rather than brush stroking it. And then I'm gonna go in with Euphoric and blend. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of Marc Jacobs At Lash. This is the new mascara that they came out with. It is so good. It is so good. It is right up there with my Fenty Beauty obsession with mascara. We're gonna go in with a little Lunar Beauty. This is in Starlight. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, so let me zoom you guys on out and give you some of my final thoughts. Okay, you guys, so this palette, I do feel like in comparison to what Urban has put out, like the Wired palette, this is way better than the Wired palette. However, I do feel like I'm running into that same problem where the darker shades are kind of blending into nothing. Like, for how dark this swatch is and how it looks in the pan, it's not in my crease at all like that. So I want you to be mindful of that. Also, there is a lot of fallout. I'm not sure if you can tell in the palette, like it gets very messy and lots of fallout. So if you are going to purchase this palette, I highly recommend doing your eyes before you do any other face makeup. I do think the look I was able to create is really pretty, and I probably will use this palette again, but is it amazing? Absolutely not. Are there better palettes out there? Abso-freaking-lutely. Like, this is Urban Decay quality, you guys, like through and through. I do feel like I was able to create a really pretty look, but this is where I struggle so much with Urban Decay, because it's like sometimes I can pull this it off and make like a nice look, but that doesn't always mean that the palette is worth it, you know? Like, is this worth 50 bucks or whatever they sell for? Like, I don't know. I really don't think so, you guys. Like, knowing what I know about the quality of this palette, like if I got to try it out before I could buy it type of thing, I probably wouldn't buy it. I don't think it's the worst thing that Urban Decay has come out with, but I also don't think it's the best. And you're still kind of getting that Urban Decay quality where the colors really blended into like nothing, which I was not a fan of. I mean, this is dark. This should be very dark on my actual eyelids. I'm not impressed with it enough to really recommend it to anybody. I would just say it's really up to you, obviously, but knowing what I know, I wouldn't go out and purchase it just because it's really subpar. I'm sorry. It just is. It just is. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it wasn't too confusing, because like I said, like I really was able to create a look that's pretty, but the quality and the payoff just isn't there. But I love you guys so much. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing, and I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.